Good afternoon, everyone. It's such an honor to be standing in front of you today. My name is Plamena, and I'm the founder of Nordic Women in Tech Awards, but also proud founding member of European Female Founders. And you'll hear a lot about us today, who we are, what we do. I just wanted to say that exactly, or a little bit over 3 years ago, we gathered here in Sofia, Bulgaria, with a vision. We gathered actually 54 ladies from all the European Union countries. We gathered together with a vision to build something meaningful, something that is a change maker in the entrepreneurial world. We wanted to see a community of like-minded people that work together, support each other, and together with partners, we try to change the entrepreneurial world for better. I'm not going to stand a lot in front of you today. We have an amazing program for you, and I'm pretty sure that some of you have already seen what's on the agenda. But I would like to invite on stage our very first speaker for the day. She's an outstanding person, amazing human being, a founder, and a pure inspiration for me as well. She's also one of the founding members of European Female Founders, but the founder and CEO of Zimvo. To tell you more about this, or her company as well, welcome on stage, Maria Fatima Lucas.
Thank you so much, Plam. And thank you all for being here today. It's really an honor to see you, to meet you, and I'm honored to be invited here. I'm nervous. I'm thinking about the pressure of presenting this, and I want to do this right, so I'm going to do something different. Normally, I'm very spontaneous. I come here and I wing it, but this time I actually prepared. I have some notes in front of me. I'm probably going to read a lot of them because there's a lot I want to say today, and I really want to nail it. So, as Plam already mentioned, my name is Maria Lucas. I am indeed one of the founding members of the EFF. And we have, of course, a challenge in front of us. And it's a daunting task that I have today because I have been invited to give an inspirational speech. And this is really, really, really complicated because the last person that actually gave an inspirational speech was actually Laurie, and you're going to meet her later today. And after her inspirational speech, we all ended up in tears. So that's quite challenging to follow. My path is not as complicated as Laurie. I did not have 2 babies while creating a company, but I did have my own challenges. And what I want to share with you today is how my story led me to be in front of this amazing audience and part of the EFF. So let me take you back 12 years ago. I came home all excited, my eyes shining, and I told my husband, I know what I want to do the rest of my life. He's like, okay, tell me more about it. So let me give you some context. I'm a quantum chemist, and for years I was involved in drug discovery, so developing methodologies to develop drugs. And that's all very fine. Developing drugs is, of course, a key point. We want to save lives, right? But somehow I felt there are so many brilliant scientists in the world. Why was my science actually going to develop a groundbreaking drug that would change the world? I don't know, I just felt it's not going to happen for me. Okay, so here I am, okay, developing drugs. But then one day, a scientist comes to our lab and he says, are you able to use your simulations that you use for drugs to develop enzymes? And many of you are probably wondering, what is she talking about, enzymes? So enzymes are biological molecules that essentially catalyze reactions. So when we eat, everything that we eat is transformed into our basic nutrients thanks to enzymes. They're essentially nature's factories. So these are the molecules that produce and degrade everything in nature. And I thought, wow, designing enzymes in a computer, that's challenging, but I'm a chemist. I would love to see chemistry do better. So I got myself into this adventure. After just a few months, I was leading a team of 5 people. We were part of a big European project with 17 partners, including the leading company in enzyme development in the world. And sure enough, a project lasted for 3 years. Extremely successful. We did really good job. We started by understanding these enzymes, understanding why they were better, how could we improve them, and finally we were predicting them. So, successful project. Sure enough, at the end of that project, I was out of a job. And as it happens to many of us, there's a detour in your life, and you need to be creative, and you need to figure out what to do. I went home, again, to my husband. Okay, I know what I want to do, but okay, I'm out of a job. So I wasn't ready to be a postdoc in someone else's lab. It was, time for me to set my own path and decide what I wanted to do with my life. So I said, I have 2 years of unemployment, so instead of just sitting here and doing nothing, which is something that, for those of you that know me, that is pretty much close to impossible, I decided to take that time and those resources to set up a company. So sure enough, after a few months, we already had our first customers, and we basically developed our technology using the funding from our customers. So, typical path, you go to an investor, you raise money. Our technology was way beyond market ready. So it took us 6 years, just to give you an idea, 6 years to have our technology market ready. So our customers were actually our first funding agency. And that was great. That was fantastic. The point is that, been developing enzymes in a computer. I felt that we were impacting our customers. We are indeed developing products that are used throughout the globe. But I also realized another thing, which is that our team, they also have a purpose. The people that work in our company know that we are trying to change the world. They feel when they come to work, this is something I want to do. So one day, again, this is my story, right? I have a wonderful mentor. This is a person that worked as a leading figure in a large pharmaceutical company. He actually dedicates his free time to help me as a mentor, which is something that in entrepreneurship is quite common. And he asked me, so what is your purpose in life? What do you want to do? And being a scientist, my go-to answer was, well, develop science, develop technology, things that people can use. But then as he kept picking at the question, because he started to know me, and he's like, are you sure that's what you want to do? And then I realized, actually, no. I'm a quantum chemist, and for years I have been surrounded by men. I thought that was normal, because in quantum chemistry, in fact, most of the people that you have around you are men. But then, when I became a CEO of a biotech company, where women are prevalent in this industry, I was not only surprised, but heartbroken to find that probably still today, I can count by my hands how many women I have found in meetings where you needed to have the decision makers. So, myself, being a woman, not particularly dedicated to working on gender balance, I found myself in a position where I said, oof, this cannot continue this way. So I decided to promote gender balance. I decided to be an advocate. And then going back to my fantastic mentor, he kept insisting, what do you want to do? And then one day I realized what I want to do is help other women in their journeys, building their companies, building their leadership, but most importantly, building their dreams. Here I am, a few years back, 3 years, as Plam already mentioned. And one day I receive an email in my inbox from the cabinet of Maria Gabriel, the then Commissioner for Innovation, Youth, I don't remember all the titles, that's like a long list. My honest opinion, my first impression was, this is spam. There's just no way. The email started with, Dear Madam. Is that me? Dear Madam? Okay. We are reaching out to 2 female founders throughout Europe to build a new idea, to build a new ecosystem. We would like to invite you to Sofia for a kickoff meeting. So, many of us, a lot of us, came to Sofia, some of us for the first time, like myself, to find something really interesting. First, a beautiful city and amazing people, a leader committed to change things, and a lot of very interesting women. Today, I stand here before you with some of these very women. It is a true honor to have been selected to make this introduction. I am humbled by the fierce strength and unwavering commitment of these women that have shown over the past 3 years. We are all busy, we all face challenges, but we are all 100% committed to a singular vital cause: to empower female founders. And just as my own journey started with a tiny seed of an idea, the European Female Founders Group itself was the brilliant inception of a woman, a true inspiration, a true visionary. Our collective job now is to spread this spark, to fan these flames as wide and far as possible, to maximize the number of people we are impacting by the warmth and the light we are trying to shed. What I truly did not expect to find that 13th of May in Sofia, by the way, it's my name day, was a group of friends, confidants, and sisters. Women who listen to each other, help each other, and most importantly, are aligned in one profound goal: to help. And often, it feels that it's all about gender. But in reality, how many people are left out of the work environment because they are too young, too old, too ethnic, or simply too different? It's not about gender, it's about equality. So, I want to end by taking you back to that day 12 years ago, when I came home thinking I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I thought it was all about science, about green chemistry, and yes, it is. But what I've learned on this incredible journey is that it's not just the science, it's the people. It's helping them. It's creating a world where every single brilliant, passionate mind has the opportunity to make and thrive and leave their mark. This is, in my opinion, and I hope you agree, EFF's vision. Thank you.
Hello? Yeah, it's working. Thank you so much, Maria. I'm also quite excited, and I would say maybe a little bit nervous about what I'm going to say now, but I have this special role today. It's not only that I have to present our keynote speakers from the European institutions, but also I'm kind of a host of this event today, because it is happening gladly and very proudly for me, first of all in Sofia, and secondly during the Green Transition Forum. So I really very much wanted to have European Female Founders as an association launched exactly here in Sofia, from where everything has started 3 years ago. So thank you, my good friends, my soulmates, for coming here. And I'm very happy to give it a kickoff as an official organization. I'm also being very happy to be given the trust and the confidence from my co-founders to be elected as the president of this organization. So for me, it's a huge responsibility, and also I'm very humbled and grateful for this confidence. Thank you. And now I want to give the floor of some people who are giving more weight to this gathering and who are making this gathering really important also on the dimension of the European institutions. First of all, let me introduce you someone who is coming from the European Parliament. And I would say for her that being a woman in finance is not easy at all. Being a woman in politics maybe is even harder. But choosing to reshape also the energy conversation from the heart of Brussels, that's not just a professional path. I would say that's a stance. And Svetlana Penkova, our MEP, is someone who consistently chooses the more difficult road. She graduated from Oxford, built her early career in the world of investment banking, and then entered the European Parliament, not to blend in, but to bring focus to issues that transcend borders, like energy security, like digital transformation, sustainable finance, and many others. And today she serves also as a president of European Energy Forum, a space where energy decisions are no longer just technical, they are political, strategic, and increasingly existential. So that's why her presence here matters a lot. And please welcome to the stage Ms. Svetlana Penkova.
Dear Ms. Stanisheva, dear guests, thank you so much for the warm introduction, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here with you today with a room full of leaders and strength. It's very difficult to be speaking after Madam Lucas, and I'm not going to be so inspirational, but I would try to share some personal experience and, of course, the views of what's happening and how things are developing at the European perspective and at the EU level. So, first of all, it is a privilege to address so many leaders at the European Female Founders Summit event today, because you are the brightest minds which are not only shaping the future of Europe, but you're an inspiration for many young entrepreneurs who are still facing a lot of challenges and obstacles. And I hope by the power and energy we see in this room, we can keep on inspiring young women to strive for the change and for making their dreams true. So, Ms. Stanisheva already mentioned some of the parts of my CV, but I want to start with a personal experience because I'm lucky enough to be coming from an Eastern European country, Bulgaria, where equality has always been part of the way we've been raised and we've grown up. And when I started studying abroad, my first reaction to all the clubs for women in economics, women in finance, women in energy was very surprising for me, because until the first 20 years of my life, I was not exposed to that division. Like, this problem was not obvious for me. And I have to say that I'm very lucky to have been surrounded by women leaders since I was a little kid. However, this doesn't mean that there are not many challenges. And I have to be honest, it took me some time, even throughout my professional career, to realize, why is this the problem? Why do we still face those challenges? Because, I mean, there's so many evidence that women are the innovators, the creators, the driving force. I mean, even if we look at, I'm an economist, so I'd like to work with data and numbers as well. When we look back at the financial crisis, And if we check all the companies that were, or departments led by women, they did show much stronger financial results. And this is analysis that were prepared and presented after. So we do offer stronger financial performance. We do have more inclusive work environment. We do have solutions and results with stronger and more tangible social impact. So if all the evidence are there, why do we still face challenges? Do we need more inspiration? Do we need to be stronger in believing that actually we can achieve what we want? Of course, there are many questions like that, but I think forums like that, and I'm very happy that this is taking place also in Bulgaria, and that the president of this not only organization, but I would call it a movement, is from Bulgaria, because it's not only setting the example, but asking those questions and working with the real life example. So I would try to say a few things which we are trying to do at the European level, because we have to be honest, progress does not occur in isolation. It is a matter of collective effort. So at the European level, we are trying really to tackle some of the obvious obstacles women entrepreneurs are meeting on the way for their success. And there are a lot of significant resources. Some of the examples were already given under the lead of our predecessing commissioner, Madam Gabrielle, who was really using her position and power to allocate significant resources to women-led businesses and to women-led initiatives. There are a lot of initiatives such as Horizon Europe, who are allocating substantial financial resources also to the specific women-led associations. The European Innovation Council has a program which is called Women Tech EU, which is also very, very targeted to us. Invest EU programs are designed for a lot of enterprises created by women. But policies, they are the framework and they're setting the infrastructure. However, they cannot be successful without the real human stories. Without the leadership and the courage and the resilience, because it has to be determined by a purpose and reason. And throughout my career as a European politician for 6 years already, I've met a lot of inspiring women's leaders. And one thing which kind of strikes me every time when I meet or speak with one of them is their approach is very different from everything else we see. Because their goal is not merely to generate profit, but to address and solve structural social problems in our society. And this is usually the driving force that makes them strive to success. I've met women entrepreneurs who create jobs in remote communities, design training programs for underrepresented groups, develop sustainable products that not only claim that we need the green transition, but they actually pave the way to achieve it in a successful manner. So all the women that have taken the hard path to entrepreneurship, they're there to leave their legacy. And I think this should be the key message, and we should be leading by example, because the legacy and the long-term goals, doing things to resolve some of the significant social problems, disparities we see in our societies, is the only way to make sure that next time when we're in the room, we're not going to fit into this size of a hole. Because I think the word female entrepreneur symbolizes courage. So continue being courageous. It is really an honor to be here together with you, and I'm sure together we can really build a better future for Europe and for the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Svetlina. We hope that maybe this or next year we'll be able to make a very nice event within the European Parliament, led by you, hosted by you, together with our Female Founders Forum and also with other women organizations, because part of our agenda is actually to build bridges between female organizations. So our second, but not second in a way like second, sorry, I missed the English word, of just for a row keynote speaker is an amazing woman as well on the European institutions. And I would say for her that some people lead from positions, others from conviction, but Svetoslava Georgieva does both. And she's the chair of the board of the EIC Fund and also a member of Investment Council of InvestEU. And she's not just a part of Europe's innovation agenda, she helps define it. And she does so with a rare mix of strategic clarity and also human insight. The EIC is often called the venture arm of the European Union, but that doesn't quite capture what it is, in fact. It is a bet on ideas that are too early for the market and often too bold for the European bureaucracy. And leading that effort means living at the section of science, policy, and risk. And that is exactly why Svetoslava is so important for our event, and we are really looking forward to hear of her keynote speech. She has spent her career building bridges between institutions and entrepreneurs, between research and application, and between vision and execution. Please welcome Ms. Svetoslava Georgieva.
Wow, thank you. What an introduction. I came here with a very clear idea what I want to say, a speech, and now I'm so moved by your words and by the audience and the mission of this forum, as well as what Maria has told us that I almost lose my focus. So forgive me, but now first of all, I'm humbled and very, very happy to have the opportunity to open this here in Sofia. Bulgaria is my home country, so I'm very privileged that this innovation and this initiative is coming from Sofia, namely. We are here today to talk about several very important and powerful drivers when it comes to our future. Innovation, obviously. The green transition, which is the topic and the title of this bigger format, but also women entrepreneurship, and more than that, women leadership and leading by example. So, as the chair of the EIC Fund and part of InvestEU, which is, by the way, the largest program of the European Commission supporting investments all around Europe in a number of areas, from green to research and development, social infrastructure, microfinancing, startup funds, you name it. I see from first experience that channeling European capital in breakthrough innovations in the right areas is critical for the development of Europe and for our future. And that's why I think it's very important investing in our future to invest in women, because this means that we are going to win. And we're going to go in the future much faster and with much more experience. And this is not just a question of inclusivity. I don't like when women are called diversity or inclusive. Actually, women are doing great. And it's a great opportunity to invest in great individuals, being men and or women. And we see that through in our investment processes. Of course, it's only a tiny fraction, and we need much more. For example, in venture capital in Europe, we still have a very small number of teams which are led by women. And there are things that we work very hardly on changing in our daily lives. But before going into the institutional examples that I've prepared for you and encouragements about what all you're doing, let me say that I think women are somehow very good at leading by example, because usually, as many of you know, we juggle a lot of tasks and a lot of personalities in one. We are professionals, ambitious and very hardworking, but we are also wives and mothers. And to be honest with you, one of the hardest things in my life is trying to balance all these roles. And that made me think how important is that we lead by example. Because for my job, I have to travel almost every week, and I have 2 small children, 2.5, and 1 to turn 6 on Sunday. So they very often send me off with tears and no, don't go, come back. And I'm torn between the children and my professional ambitions and responsibilities. But then I thought, okay, it's fine. Maybe I'm not here a couple of days every 1 or 2 weeks. But what's most important is that we lead by example in our own actions every day in educating the next generation. My little daughter, and more so even my son, that women can do, and women are a very important part of our success. And talking about examples of women, I'm very happy that Svetlina mentioned her experience and reaction to women forums around Europe. I lived in the UK for 8 years, and then I moved to Brussels before coming here. And I have to admit, I had the same reaction. I grew up in Bulgaria, where diversity and women issue was not so much raised. So I went abroad and I saw all these diversity issues. I was like, why? And then I worked in London in investment banking, which is a traditionally very male-dominated, very intensive, physically, mentally, and very competitive sector. And then when I came back, I would travel around seeing friends. They were like, so how do you do? It's so difficult. You're a woman in this world. I'm like, you know what? I don't even think about it. I think about my own contribution. I think about my responsibilities and what we need to deliver. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. You just need to go out there and fight. And that's the truth. And since we are in Bulgaria, I would have the privilege to just mention a couple of very strong female leaders from Bulgaria. So obviously we have the head of the IMF, Kristalina Georgieva. This morning we experienced and saw the strong political leadership that we have by Commissioner Zahareva. And we're actually quite lucky because this is the 3rd female commissioner responsible for innovation, including Maria Gabriel, who started that. We have Liliana Pavlova, who was a vice president of the IB. We have Monica Stanisheva here because she's putting this forum together. It's very impressive. It's compliments to her. And then turning to Europe, I think, obviously starting with Svetlina, who is in the room, but I think we are a very unique position that 2 of the institutions, or actually 3 of the important European institutions, are led by women. And I think this is first time in history. Second round, we have female leader of the European Commission, and she will have to excuse me, I don't stop repeating, she has 7 children, and she's the president of the European Commission for a second term, okay? So it is possible, and we have to continue believing in our strength and have the confidence. So what do we do in the institutions? Let's go back to the institutional point. I'm very proud to announce that in the EIC fund, 23% of our investments in cutting-edge technological companies and breakthrough innovations that have the potential to change the future are women-led. Might not be as much as we hope, but I think it's a great start. There is a number of programs. Women Tech EU was mentioned. EIC Women Prize, which happens every year as part of our flagship event in Brussels. The EIC Women Leadership Program, which has just launched, is very especially important because it provides female founders with mentorship, coaching, and visibility, and a lot of strategic advice and priority, which is so helpful and so important for you. With InvestEU, where we support a lot of venture funds through the EIF, we actually put a lot of emphasis on gender-smart funds and gender-diverse funds. And I think the InvestEU program was the beginning. EIF has introduced a gender lens in their due diligence process. And this is, I mean, it's a technical point, but it's very, very important. In every fund they assess, they think about how many women there are in decision-making positions. So compliments to them. And not even that, not only that, there is a lot of involvement of female scientists. And let's not forget that innovation starts with discoveries, with research and development, and women scientists are especially precious for our environment, as some of you would have experienced this firsthand. So capital is not neutral. We, as a society, public institutions direct it, and every euro we invest through these European programs and budgets shapes the future of our children and the role models that we are building for them. And this is especially important, so we shouldn't forget to listen to women, fund women, follow women, and not only women, but strong individuals, which many women are. And we should do this together as a society. Women and men, by the way, it's disappointing, I only see, I don't know, one male, or come to our events, mingle. I think we shall, two, hello. Come to our events, mingle, and let's do this together. And finally, mentioning the word together, let me express my personal commitment to this forum, officially launched today. You have my personal, but our support as well, obviously, as institutions. Good luck, and good luck to all of you who make the amazing things happen.
Thank you so much for your incredible speeches. I can absolutely and completely relate to what our keynote speakers are saying. And I know being in Bulgaria today and also in Sofia, I feel like privileged and maybe a little bit biased, but also being Bulgarian. But I must say that, and we have representatives from all around Europe in the audience, I just want to say that when some of us leave Bulgaria and go to other countries, we become role models. And in the audience today, we have someone who is actually a founder of So magazine in Norway. She's, I know, she's also one of the founders of Women in Tech Norway, and she's Bulgarian. We have the founder of Women in Tech Global, who is also Bulgarian. When we get out there, we are bringing our knowledge and experiences from here. And no matter what is going on in this country, we are actually doing something good. That's for sure. We are empowering women, and these women are becoming role models on global level. So thank you for that. And I would like to also say, before we move to the next speech, I would like to say a big, big thank you to Monica Stanisheva once again for, first of all, hosting us tonight, and secondly, organizing Green Transition. It's absolutely an outstanding event, and also being a role model as well, because you're the one that actually got us together and said, we are doing this no matter what. We need it, and we are doing it, and we got us all founding members together, and we did it. Thank you. And now, to tell you a little bit more about who European female founders are, please welcome on stage Laura Prevost-Osmani.
Afternoon. Oh, it's okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for this introduction. They clearly explain and justify the very reason why European female founders exist. I am Laure Prévost-Osmani, I am French, as I'm CEO of Sabi Agri, and I am EIC Accelerator Laureate, so thank you for this support with the company. And I am very proud to present our association and our movement. I need the clicker, sorry. So let me take you back to the beginning of a movement. One born from a simple yet powerful idea that women deserve equal opportunities to lead, innovate, and build the future of Europe. Across our continent, women have long been underrepresented in entrepreneurship. This isn't a pipeline issue. It's an ecosystem failure. That's why European Female Founders, or EFF, was created, not just as a network, but as a catalyst for change. Our mission is simple: to inspire, encourage, and take action to support women's entrepreneurship for an inclusive and diverse Europe. But you're right, not for inclusive and diverse, but just for the future of Europe, in fact. EFF was founded to tackle the structural barriers that hold women back, from access to capital and education to the lack of supportive networks. We believe that by addressing these challenges head-on, we can create a more equitable entrepreneurial landscape. But how did it all begin? It started with a bold question: what would happen if women from every corner of Europe came together to reshape entrepreneurship? On May 2022, 55 women from every too much, I'm too fast. 54 women from every EU country gathered in Sofia. We came together not just to share experiences, but to identify the real barriers, and all the real barriers that holding women entrepreneurs back, and to imagine what a truly equal and supportive Europe ecosystem could look like. That moment sparked something bigger. This initiative was inspired and initiated by the European Commission for Innovation and Research under the leadership of Commissioner Maria Gabriel, who called for stronger, coordinated action to support female entrepreneurship across Europe. For this initial momentum, the energy grew. On the occasion of International Women's Rights Day in 2023, the European Commission hosted the Empowering Female Entrepreneurship Summit in Brussels. The summit was our first action, featuring high-level panels, interactive workshops, and strategic discussion designed to drive real outcomes. Among the keynote speakers were Nicola Beer, then Vice President of the European Parliament, and Maria Gabriel, the European Commissioner, who helped spark the movement. Three pillars quickly emerged as essential, and they still lie at the heart of the association today. Education, fostering tomorrow's female entrepreneurs through skills development at every stage of life. Networks, connecting people across Europe to collaborate, learn, and grow together. And financing, advocating for fair access to venture capital and public funding. And now, we are proud to say that the association has officially been created under the initiative of 8 committed and visionary women. And let me tell you, it wasn't just an idea that magically turned into an organization. We came from different countries, industry, and experiences. Tech, sustainability, science, journalism, public policy. What brought us together wasn't frustration, but a shared observation. Across the continent, female entrepreneurship was growing, but not fast enough, and often not fairly enough. We saw brilliant women building companies, but still lacking access to networks, resources, or recognition. And since 2022, 8 women didn't let go. We held meetings on trains, calls in taxis, wrote emails after dinner and putting the kids to bed, shaped the association on Sunday, all while juggling the demands of our own companies. And we kept going. And I'm very proud to be one of these pioneers alongside Monika Stanisheva, President of the EFF and CEO of Green Transition Forum, Teddy Slaveshva, Vice President of EFF, leader of Women in Tech Norway, Sabrina Malperi, Secretary of EFF and CEO of ActBlade, Milena Stoycheva, co-founder of The Edge, Research and Business Development, investor and former Minister for Innovation and Growth in Bulgaria, Maria Lucas, CEO of Zimvol, and Charlotte Joubert, CEO of Wonderful, and of course, Plamena. Where is Plamena? Plamena, we show Chervena, founder of Women Nordic in Tech Award. But why we do it? Because we knew that if we didn't transform our ideas into action, no one else would do it for us. So we didn't just want to talk about the barriers, we want to break them. We didn't just want to be included in the ecosystem, we want to reshape it. So yes, it took time, determination, kindness, and a good sense of humor. Because here we are, and today's event is not just another gathering for us, it's a celebration of a collective vision, resilience, and the first official step of the European Female Founders Association. And we're just getting started, and we are excited to welcome you to this next chapter. Creating EFF was just the beginning. What matters now is what we are going to do, and how we are going to do with you. Our ambition is huge, and we are fully aware that we can't achieve it alone. So today, we are not just presenting a strategy, we are building a collective movement, and we want you to be part of it. We are actively working on 3 key areas, and we need support, skills, partnerships, and energy. We begin with education, because the journey starts early and real change begins in the classroom. That's why we want to inspire girls and support women at every stage, from school to university and into leadership. Portugal has shown that real change is possible. Over the past few decades, the country has implemented long-term policy to support women in science, and the result is striking. Nearly 30% today of the researchers in Portugal are women, and one of the highest shares in Europe. This progress was made possible through sustained public investment in education and research. gender-targeted scholarship starting in the 80s. Regulatory reform ensuring gender balance in decision-making bodies, and national law, like in 2019, quota requiring at least 40% female representation in university leadership. This measure created a supportive ecosystem where women were encouraged not only to enter in STEM fields, but to lead in them. That's why we believe the journey starts early and with global action. We are working on bringing entrepreneurial inspiration into school and high school, support university women in STEM to become future funders, and create leadership spaces for women growing. So, what we are looking for is educators and institutions to host and co-design programs, entrepreneurs and role models to speak to students, organizations already working on youth empowerment to partner with. Our second focus is all about networks. Creating a strong, supportive community where women founders can connect and grow together. We don't want to duplicate what already exists. We want to connect it. We are currently exploring how to map and link local initiatives across Europe. Create connection and synergies with organizations, companies, and allies already taking action. Create space for female founders to exchange, learn, and grow. And build a network of EFF female founders who want to become ambassadors in their own countries and activate their local ecosystems. So we are looking for founders, mentors, community builders who want to be involved, ecosystem players who already run network and want to collaborate, and people with ideas on how to build trust and connection across borders. And our third strategic focus, of course, is on funding, with the aim of addressing the persistent inequality on access to capital. Access to funding remains a major barrier. We are not only raising awareness, we want to work on real solutions. EFF is already involved in European programs like Fund, which bring together partners across Europe to reduce the gender funding gap. These initiatives create practical tools and networks that connect women-led startups with gender-conscious investors. They prove that when we act collectively and internationally, change is possible. So we are also currently working on understanding where the blocks are in processes, criteria, bias, exploring new funding models that are inclusive and gender-conscious, opening conversation with investors, institutions, and policymakers. So we are looking for female founders who want to share their experience, investors, banks, funding experts, open to change and collaboration, and policy thinkers who can help to draft concrete and fair proposals. So now, if you are wondering, where do I start? Start here and start now. Join the association. First of all, our first year of membership is open and free. So let's do it. Whether you are a female founder, a student, a mentor, an ally, a company, a policymaker, or a simple believer who simple people who believe entrepreneurship in Europe must be fair and equal, you are welcome. And bring someone with you, because more we are, more it's funny. We ask each of you today to help at least one person join, a colleague, a friend, a founder you admire, or someone just starting out. This is how we grow, connection by connection. The members of EFF are available to talk with you today, so do not hesitate and let's connect. The second action is to follow us. Spread the word. We are only as visible as our community makes us. Follow us on LinkedIn, tag us, share our mission. You can't imagine how powerful a single post is when it carries the right message. And at the end, once you're in, bring with you what you have, your needs, so we can shape the right actions, your skill, because we need all kinds of talent, your financial support if you want to invest on systemic change, your commitment. However big or small, it matters. This association was built by 8 women we didn't let go. Now it belongs to all of us. So let's make it grow, let's make it count, let's build the ecosystem we wish we had found when we started. And as Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic, said, the most effective way to do it is to do it. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Laura, and to all inspiring speakers today. It is pleasure and also quite exciting to be today, back 3 years after the start of the journey of the European female founders, and now officially association. And I really hope that all of you will join us today and will spread the word. I'm proud and humble to work along the side with the incredible women, female founders. And now, as we are building this organization to give the voice and empower the female founders of Europe, it is time to invite on stage some incredible women that are not just breaking barriers and creating success, but also are building amazing companies that are contributing to the sustainable future to all of us. So let's move to the next slide. Which is here. So help me to welcome on stage Gergana Stancheva, who is the co-founder and CEO of Lamon. I'm also very happy to welcome on stage Sabrina, CEO and co-founder of ActBlade. We have also a youth representative today, which we are so proud to welcome on stage, Sofia Nikolova, CEO of BioBliss. And we have one of our also members from the beginning of our journey with European female founders, Maria Purnari, EDIH Health Hub CEO. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us today. It is true pleasure and honor, really. When I was having the initial conversations and learn about the work you are doing, I was like, wow, that's truly inspiring. So I'm really looking forward to this panel today. So let's start with Gergana Stancheva. You're building something quite interesting that is also building, it's very supportive for the sustainable future. Could you share a little bit about your story and about the company that you are developing?
Should I use my phone?
Yes, absolutely. Please, yeah.
Can you hear me? Perfect. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me, and what an exciting time for female founders. So at Lamon, we started back in 2018 with the idea to develop laminating film, so the thin layer of see-through plastic on paper and cardboards, publishing materials, packaging, boxes, everything around us. That unfortunately currently makes the end products unrecyclable. So all of that paper and cardboard doesn't really get recycled and reused. So because we were part, both Angela Ivanova and I were part of the print industry in ways, we wanted to use that type of product, that type of laminating film that mirrored our own worldview and what we would like to see in nature in general is not plastic. So the research into how we can substitute it, what we can make in order to swap it with something, led us to the Bulgarian Academy of Science. We stole one of their scientists, Associate Professor Filip Publikov, who became the third founder of the company. And yes, 6-ish, 7 years later, we have our own production facility here in Sofia. Lamon, which is the laminating film, is still not ready, but we developed meanwhile a whole packaging line. So yeah, we are on our way to continue developing a pipeline of innovative bio-based and compostable films for various uses.
Amazing, thank you so much. Could you share a little bit what was the breakthrough moment for you?
To be honest, in the past 7 years, I think we've had a few. Finding Philip was definitely one. Getting into EIT's climate kick family was another one, because that was the first push to actually make it into a business and not just a side project and a side hustle. Then the EIC funding, which was for quite a bit of money, and that allowed us to have our own production facility, really finalize the end products. Also, yeah, every little step along the way, I think, was kind of a breakthrough moment, and each day that you survive as a as a startup is kind of a big win. So yeah, quite a few.
We would love to hear later on about these little steps and along the journey, the challenges, but also how you overcome them. But I would like to, now you mentioned EIT, and this is something that we also have representation of EIT at the Green Transition Forum, and it's probably something that a lot of people will be interested. Can you share a little bit about this experience?
Of course. Well, the first EIT kind of meet with us, our first meeting with EIT was Climate Kick Launchpad, which is kind of an incubator or a bootcamp for really, really green ideas. And that's what we were. We had no real idea exactly what we were doing. So they were the first kind of that taught us how to make a business plan, a pitch deck, how to really research our ideas and start checking the market and seeing if there is a market fit for what we think we are making. So the EIT family as a general, then we were part of the accelerator as well. So the EIT has been a really important part of our, I hate that word, but our journey. So far, so we are really, really grateful, and there are a lot of talent and a lot of experts there that are really eager to help you with nothing in return. So yeah, it's a pool of great minds and activists and people who really do care about what they do. So that's always great to see.
Any advices for female founders that are interested to follow this journey with EIT?
Other than just do it. That was thank you. I think just find the right people. For me personally, that's the main thing. Having a team around you, people that kind of keep you going when things are not going, which a lot of times they're not, especially in the beginning. So yeah, finding the right people and finding more and more of them, and building a safe bubble around you that can actually help you and push you and yeah, just keep things straight.
Great, thank you so much. We would love to hear more insights from your journey later on, especially with the funding aspect, because you have also some interesting stuff to share there. But now I would like to hear also from Sabrina, who is also one of the female founders, team members. It's great to have you, Sabrina, on the panel, because you are working in quite massive, and I would say also very male-dominated industry. And you are developing something very ambitious, and I would say even breakthrough. Could you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sabrina Malpede. I'm the co-founder managing director of Actably Limited. It's a British company, and also managing director of the European subsidiary Actably Europe SRL. We develop the lightest, most controllable, most sustainable wind turbine blade in the world. Our blade is made of an internal composite structure. We call it a fishbone structure. It's a spar, and some ribs. It's fully covered by textile. So because of the material we use, our blade is lighter than other blades. And also it's made of components, it's modular, so it's very easy to scale. Most importantly, we don't need any paint. So we are very sustainable, and our manufacturing footprint is massively less. So we just counted 33% of saving of energy just in the production. At the moment, we have our first full-scale prototype, a commercial prototype. We are working with Enel Green Power, our first customer, to deliver the first prototype. And so we are just entering the market. And so it's a very exciting as well as scary moment.
Great, thank you so much.
So regarding the question about, okay, so wind energy is a male-dominated and actually dominated because of the last 10 years has been consolidated. So there are few companies, and the biggest companies are in China, and the few remaining in the rest of the world are obviously all male-dominated. So for me, it's always about it's the other people that have a problem to meet a lady. It's not my problem to meet men, and so it's quite so. I have to say that a lot of times happened that they thought that my colleague was the boss rather than me, but after like a couple of minutes, they realized so it's all about making sure that we are clear about who we are and we stand. Definitely we have to make sure that we are over-prepared about things that we want to say, whatever is the field. But I have to say that I learned, it's 20 years that I'm an entrepreneur, but I learned that actually to use being a female as to my advantage, meaning that if I'm in a room with a male, they will remember me. They won't remember the others. So use it. So if you are the unique person, it's your USP. I'm a female, that's my USP. That's it. So, and everyone remembers me. Most of the time, they even refer to my company like a Sabrina's company. And for my first company, it's still Sabrina Software. So why not? It's a brand. We need to make sure that we brand ourselves. So it works at the end. It works.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I really love how you turn it into advantage, actually.
Yes.
So
yes.
thank you so much. And this is a massive industry. What's actually the market you are addressing?
Well, we do blades, only the rotating bits, okay, the turbine. So only wind turbine blades market is 18 billion per year over the next 10 years. So it's a massive market. European community has fantastic goals in terms of installations, but probably the representative knows that there are many barriers because at country levels there are different policies, a lot of restrictions, and I think policy are not enough. I think the industry, and this is also another thing that I'm trying to explain to people, that the wind energy industry has to educate the market and make it acceptable. We cannot expect that people accept the wind turbine. So there are challenges. So we are behind the targets in Europe, whereas other parts of the world, like China, are installing per year the same amount of gigawatt that Europe has currently since we started. So we are much behind, and we have to electrify the world. We are using more energy. If you think just about artificial intelligence, is not a sustainable industry because data are warming the planet. And to actually, either we use that heat, or we need to cool the place. So we have to develop energy. And this is also about, to me, is very important to electrify also Africa and all countries around Europe to be safe. And to be honest with you, sorry, that's probably a little bit political, but the fact that we are not independent from an energy point of view, it's becoming an issue today. So we have to step up because we have an amount of renewable energy that is not used. But of course, I'm a little company, the little baby of the industry. But when I can, I will say what I think.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sabrina. We would love to learn later on. I'm sure you have a lot of great insights to share along this journey. But now let's also hear from our youth representative here on stage. It is an absolute pleasure to have you, and I was so impressed when I heard about you, what you have achieved already, only 18 years old, but you have built, and you're representing also the next generation, or it's already current generation actually, of female founders that we need to empower and that we also can get inspired by. So, and you just currently come back with another European award. You have a lot of acknowledgements already, and the great work you are doing is also something very impactful. So please share about yourself and the great work.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me. So, as you heard, my name is Sofia. I'm 18 years old, and last year in September, together with my co-founders, we founded BioBliss. What we do is we make button cell batteries, the circle ones, from bio-waste. Bio-waste can be even plastic bottles, coffee waste, food waste, animal waste. We take it and we turn it into our eco-friendly batteries that are the same performance as lithium-ion batteries, because you can hear sodium batteries being not as high performance, but ours are right next to the lithium-ion batteries. We also work with the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences. There is our laboratories. We developed our prototype, which is fully tested and working. We have very promising results. And yes, just last week we were in Brussels, where we won the AmCham EU Entrepreneurship Award for 2025. And right now, after having our prototype, what we're looking forward is a partnership with a battery company so we can officially begin our sales and produce our batteries.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Could you share with us what it's like to be a young entrepreneur? What are the challenges you are seeing at this point?
Well, it's very interesting. It's very exciting, and you get a lot of this adrenaline. It's very different from maybe what you have experienced, because we're just in high school and we were very nervous about the fact that whenever we meet some important people, some already manufacturers and anyone, they would see us, oh, you know, you're just in high school, this is an idea, it's great that you want to share it, but you can't do anything with it. And actually, this was our fear, but this wasn't the reality. The reality was that everyone wanted to connect with us, everyone wanted to help us. We found so many mentors that even today they're growing every day, and they support us, and we really started from, yes, just an idea, but we're building even a community of BioBliss. We don't want to be this company that's only us. We want to expand. We want to be a community, and we want the future of the batteries to be clean, effective, scalable, and green.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That's the future. And what do you dream of? What is your dream? What do you want to achieve with this project, in this journey?
I will repeat my words in Brussels. So our dream is for every one of you to have a piece of us with you, with our batteries, and one day all of you to have one of our batteries.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Beautiful dream, and I really wish you to come true. And we would love to welcome you in the European Female Founders family, and to support along the way, the journey. And we would love to hear also what kind of other support you have heard later on, and some other insights from your side as well. Thank you so much, really inspiring.
Thank you.
And now, our next guest, Maria Purnari. Hi, Maria. It's great to meet you again.
Hi, my dear.
Here in Sofia. And you are actually also a person that you are a female founder yourself, but you also work with female founders. So you can share quite interesting insights in this direction.
Yes, hello everyone. So I'm Maria. I come from Greece. I am the Chief Operating Officer of a European Digital Innovation Hub called Health Hub. So practically what we do is we give services to SMEs or public actors towards their digital transformation. As you understand from Health Hub, the sector is health and pharma. This is one thing. The second thing is I am in charge of growth of Joist Innovation Park, which is the only innovation park in Greece. So digital transformation again. We work a lot with students, we work a lot with female founders. And the third thing that came, and I'm one of the latest founders of the EFF, is that I founded my own psychotherapeutic center, which focuses a lot on the challenges that women face while they try to combine their professional life together with motherhood and family and all that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
That's the background.
So from the work you have done with female founders, what are some of the main challenges that you see female women in the entrepreneurship journey face?
It's almost always balanced, to be honest. We talk a lot about the balance between family and work. Balance is a challenge also for women who do not have families, because not all of us need to have a family. We do not need all of us to have children. I do have one on my own, so it's pretty challenging to combine all these things, which is what drove me there. A very important challenge is that women who want to help, who need help, they cannot ask for help. This is one thing, because we have learned how we can be multitaskers and how we can do everything on our own. The second thing is that it actually does take a village, not just to raise a child, but also to raise a dream, to make a dream come true. So a challenge is also know where to ask for help, because when you actually have a village, and this is what the EFF is, because we all started as a very small village, and now we aspire to become a continent, and this is why each of us was chosen, you know? This is why 1 or 2 paras were chosen by each member state to represent each country, not just to keep it inside the forum, inside the association, but actually to spread it in each country. So practically we aspire to become something like a hub, something like a reference center in each member state, and help every and each of us and you to overcome the challenges.
Is there some practical advices you would like to share for female founders in this journey? How to balance this, let's say, personal and also professional life, and the aspect of self-care, which I think we often forget as female founders?
Yeah. Well, the first advice is to talk, which is what led me to found the psychotherapeutic center, because I'm a psychotherapist myself, and it helped me a lot to balance all these different hats and identities practically. So what was the initial question? How? Practical advice, yeah.
Yes.
Not to forget, but also try to forget, because there is all this fuss and all this buzz inside our minds. I mean, we are the first people, not only women, that use so much our phones, that we receive so much information on a daily basis. So there is no silence, there is no quiet. So one practical advice would be, I don't know, turn it off or leave the phone aside and actually talk, which is what we have done also among ourselves. During all these years, we have discussed a lot about burnout. We also have discussed about a suicide that occurred to a female founder and a mentor that was very close to one of us. We have discussed about family issues, and apparently we have discussed a lot about professional issues, about mentoring, about peer-to-peer. The ones that have received already EIC funds, how they can actually help the rest of us to achieve this as well. So one practical advice would be talk, and the second practical advice would be ask for help and join associations like this one.
Right. Thank you so much. And when we talk about female founders and their journey and basically building these big visions, do you think female founders have to take more risks? Because sometimes we hear that women are not so brave or not so bold in some aspects. What is because you've been working a lot with female founders.
This is a word that keeps coming up since very early this morning. I heard it also in the big hall at around 9:30 about how much bravery EU needs and how much bravery we actually need. When I think about risks and when I see Sofia sitting next to me, I think of what sort of bravery it took or not bravery. Maybe it was just intuition, maybe it was just passion, maybe it was just what drove you. So I think that as soon as you join us, you will be the youngest member of the European Female Founders. So I think it's not just bravery, but just do it. Like the first woman who crossed the ocean did it. I think that's the biggest risk that each of us should take.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we can go maybe back to Sabrina.
Thank you.
And I would like to ask you, you have built 2 companies, and one of them is already existing for 20 years. The other one is for 10 years. That's quite a long journey. And it requires a lot of commitments, but also a lot of consistency and overcoming challenges. How do you make it to have such a long entrepreneurship and successful experience?
Yeah. So actually, Actblade, the Winterbank company, is a spin-out of another company we co-founded 20 years ago. I'm actually an aeronautical engineer with an aerospace PhD, so I'm one of the luckiest PhD because I'm still using my doctorate to develop innovative solutions. So the first application was actually a set of software application for the yachting industry. We are now world leader of software application for sailing yachts, but also going into the commercial shipping. But then in 2014, well, after the dot-com collapse, we were actually growing in a niche, actually a very difficult space because our market was shrinking. Just to give you an idea, it shrank 60% in few years. So we decided to actually re-challenge ourselves, and so we created Actblade with an internal strategy. We had the luxury of having Friday for strategies because we were already the world leaders, so we could actually take one day off and dedicate to the strategy, develop the new waves for ourselves. So who has been following me in this journey is my amazing team. My team is Formula One. I always, because we come from sport, yachting, actually sailing yacht, where we always using those terms. So both the other 2 co-founders and the chairman, that is the co-founder, have been amazing. So I think first thing is making sure that your teammates are complementary, and also the other very important thing that we learn in the journey is we learn how to discuss because of different competencies. So we had to make sure that we were actually multiplying rather than adding. And then I think one very important point, and that was really at the start, your best investor is always the first customer. And so building strong relationship with the first customers or first groups of customers and creating an ecosystem of suppliers, depending obviously on the industry you are in. But with the creation of ActBlade, we always refer to our group of people as our innovation ecosystem. So we actually map the area of needs, and for every area of needs we find the companies or the research center or university that we need in order to create what is our innovation ecosystem. So we do have created that. That is a great advice for you, but you are already doing this. But the other very important point, which I think has been our strength, it was actually to make sure that the IP, we have developed 3 families of patents worldwide, so a very important asset for the company. So to make sure that you can keep the brain inside the company and you actually outsource what it can be bought off the shelf, okay? So in this way, actually you use to the best the money you have, that is always half or a third that you need to do what you need to do. So that's a few lessons that I'm happy to share. And,
Great, thank you so much. Thank you, Sabrina. And we're also going to open soon the floor for questions from the audience. So if you have any questions, please be prepared, and we will pass on the mic if you want to ask something from our speakers. Gergana, we would love to hear now from you regarding your journey raising funding, because you had funding that was public funding, but you also had great experience with investors. So please share a little bit about that experience.
Of course. Well, to be honest, that's a really rare couch, first of all, because physical products are rare in the startup community, and getting investment for them and financing them is quite harder than any software. First, because you need a lot more money in the beginning, so the initial investment is really high. You need a lot more people, because with different expertise comes different things that are part of something physical that you're trying to develop. It's higher risk because, well, it might not work, and you've already invested a lot of money in the beginning. And then the return on investment takes a really long time because, yeah, in order to develop something really, then enter the market, first stage, second stage, all of that, it takes really, really a long time. So it's not that sexy for investors to invest in a company that's trying to develop a new product that might not work. So for us, in the beginning, the first few years when we were developing the prototype, we just entered any and all programs, accelerators, challenges, award ceremonies, anything that could get us a little bit of funding. And then we managed to attract 2 business angels. Sasha Bezukhanova is one of them. She was here. And Svetozar Georgiev. And that was the moment when we really started developing the products properly, because for the first time we could really invest ourselves in the project and not freelance, afterwards or in the weekends. And then the EIC grant was kind of a really big step for us. That was in 2022. And we managed to secure grant funding, 1.2 million euro, which was all invested in the production facility. And then we started, hiring people who can actually work on the machines that we bought and really see our vision actually come to life, which was very exciting and still is. So that was, it takes a lot of time. As mentioned, it took us, from 2018. We've been doing that, and it takes time, especially for physical products. But the great thing is with physical products and with products that you develop, yes, it takes a lot of time and it's really risky in the beginning, but when the wheels start turning, statistically, those companies last a lot longer than any software or, online-based company. So that's always a good thing as well. And it's really exciting to really start building your team and hiring people and seeing things happen, and being able to touch things and then selling. That's also, it's a really exciting journey. And hopefully we're out of the fundraising period now and we start to self-sustain quite soon.
Congratulations. What were some of the learning takes from this journey? I think would be very valuable for some of the female founders here.
Well, yeah, perseverance, I think, is the main one. Surviving, even if the things look very grim. And trying again and again. For the EIC funding that I mentioned, it was our third time trying, and each time takes like 4 or 5 months to develop the project and write it and do all of that. So it was quite challenging to continue trying, but it was worth it at the end. Another thing, again, I'm gonna repeat myself, but finding the right people, finding investors or funds or VCs that you actually wanna, marry in a way, because they are part of the company afterwards. So finding the right people to join the company, especially in a very early stage, for us it was really important to find people who share our love for the work and for nature. But somebody who doesn't really only think about the return and let's make money now, but actually wants to develop a product that's worth it and has integrity and supports you as founders. I think those were the main things.
Great, thank you. So let's hear from Sofia again. In this journey, you also have, I believe, some help, great support. Who are the key organizations or individuals in this growing process? Do you have some mentors? Or I think this could be very valuable for young people that want to start their journey. What kind of support and empowerment they should look for?
So we started, the three of us, we're three girls, all really young. We went to the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, a really naive move. We literally went there and said, we have this amazing idea, we're really passionate about it. We explained the whole thing, and then we found a scientist who wanted to work with us, who wanted to develop the thing. Later on, a month ago, our team in the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences expanded, and we're now, there's a lot of scientists from the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences, from the New Bulgarian University, from Sofia University, and it's a huge team. Along the many competitions we attended, especially the Best Youth Startup of Bulgaria, which was organized by the Fund of the Funds. Thanks to our 12 prizes there, apart from the first place, we found many mentors, a marketologist, a lawyer, people with a lot of experiences who became our mentors. Then we also are partners now with the Sofia Tech Park, also Cleantech Bulgaria, and of course EIT. We're participating in the EIT Jumpstarter program, and also we won an award from the EIT Manufacturing, who are also our partners and hopefully sponsors soon.
Great. Good luck with that. I think there is EIT representation today. You already have developed quite inspiring journey. What are some advices that you could share for other young female entrepreneurs or anybody that wants to actually join such a journey?
So to start, when you find something that you love, that you're really passionate about, you just need this passion, dedication, hard work. Of course it's hard, but if you keep those feelings in yourself, everything comes in place. We participated in so many competitions. Junior Achievement, we went to like 3 of their competitions. They're amazing. And throughout these also naive moves, but kind of strategic, we just wanted to do everything, to participate everywhere, to meet everyone. And this never-ending energy of ours is what brought us here today.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's open now the floor for the audience as well. Is there anyone who would like to ask a question? We had already great insights. Yes? Yes? Okay. We have
Just one thing to add about funding, because we have VIC, but also we have Commissioner Zahareva, who spoke a lot about Horizon Europe and about other proposals as well and other funding mechanisms. The EFF, we already were not just lucky enough, but we were capable enough, and thanks to Anne-Charlotte, who led the proposal, we have the Her Fund project, which also is continuing with the Scale Her. So find this Her Fund for the time being online, because there are so many trainings, there are so many mentoring sessions, like so much, how to say, material that a potential and wannabe founder can benefit from, that it would be such a pity to lose such projects. This is something that we as Health Hub and Joist Innovation Park focus a lot on, because the funding that the Commission gives is a true opportunity. I mean, yes, investment on the one hand, yes, we need the VCs and angel investors and all that, but why not benefit also from funding and grants which are out there? So just that as a closure.
Yeah, great. Now we will come back afterwards with some final also remarks from your side. But now we have one question. Anne-Charlotte?
Thanks a lot, Maria, for mentioning the project, and thanks a lot to all of you. I think it's so inspiring, and I have actually it's 1-2 question. It's basically to kind of each of you, what has been your biggest failure or the biggest risk you took when creating your company or throughout your journey? You just decide, but because I really believe that this is how we grow. And what was the learning from that? How did you overcome it to where you are today?
Okay, I'll start first. I think for us, which is something that we mentioned here before, but asking for help after it was time to ask for help, like a little bit too late or almost too late. And we've done that too many times. Unfortunately, we did not learn the first 10. So yeah, we kept on, being like, yeah, we can do it. Don't ask for help, because they will then think that you're not capable if you ask for help. It's dumb. But anyways, we do it. So I think that was our biggest failure, not really figuring out that first, it will make life easier. Everybody wants to help you. Nobody's going to think anything bad. And second, that's better for the business. And it's not about you, so get over yourself and do what's best for your company, and not, don't protect your ego. So that was, I think, the biggest failure on a personal and professional level, to just, basically get over myself.
It's not that okay, first of all, I think the biggest challenge is always that the one you have ahead of you, rather than the one that you overtook. So that's so for me, the next challenge, a possible failure, is the one that I'm facing today, rather than the one. So looking at the past, I can remember probably we took some risky action, and the risky action was to go to market a little bit earlier than the product was ready, but then we played well. I always say that lucky helps the braves. So we actually, that is a true story. We went to the trade show, we were not ready, we found a customer that said, look, Sabrina, you are not ready, but we buy 6 software, 6 programs, so our group will employ, I'll give you the best designer, so your product will be ready in 6 months. If in 6 months you are not ready, then you give the money back. And that was, so actually, try is good. At the end, it pays back. We could have failed, but then that is why having a great team helps, that are passionate about it. Then you work day and night to succeed, if it's possible to succeed. So I hope. So you are too young.
But she's already very experienced with what she has done.
But I was going to start with that. We just started like a year ago, so we haven't had probably our biggest mistakes yet, but we had many small ones. And what I wanted to share as an experience is that making mistakes is actually something really good. It's something that all of us should do. And those small mistakes and those people that help you and that give you feedback from them were the biggest kind of steps for us to grow even bigger and to become better. And it was just small things like in the presentation, put this, don't put that. In the pitch deck, in the laboratory, of course, many don't touch this, and this is even the names we were confusing at the start. And especially for the stands, what questions and how to prepare for them. But making those mistakes, making so many of them is what really got us here.
Great, I think that's how we learn, right? And that's something what recently at the conference was mentioning, that in Europe we have to learn to make mistakes actually, and to learn from these mistakes, because that's how we grow. So it's not a mistake, it is actually a learning process. So thank you so much for sharing that. And you're very young, but you're already very wise, I would say. And Maria?
Yeah, I just want to mention that each September we hold InnoHealth Forum at Joist Innovation Park, a very big event which focuses on innovation about health. So there we always have a session about failures, because we have many startups and investors, and because everybody is kind of fed up with only success. So we dedicate the session to failures, and then everybody comes out of the room so happy with such big smiles, because no one feels alone anymore, you know. So this is one thing, so keep it. And every time we see a startup, not you, but other startups succeeding, then there is at least one time they failed before they succeeded. And the other thing on a personal note is to, not a failure, but like an advice, try, as soon as one starts burning, try not to burn out and take a break. Not knowing when to take a break is kind of a failure which breaks us. So let's all try to have a break before we burn out.
Great, thank you so much. Is there any other questions from the audience? I see two. Okay, great.
Well, thank you, all of you. It was so inspiring to hear all of you. So my question here is, what did you include in your pitches so that you attracted the investors' attention? Thank you.
I'll start. Well, the 3 rule is, I think, the main thing we included, because there's 3 of us. We're 3 girls. We have batteries, but we always say, you know, we strive for a greener, circular economy future that's clean. So applying this 3 rule was, I think, the thing we used the most.
The problem and the solution, and why you are the best to solve the problem. Then the rest, yeah.
Thank you. To be completely honest, for me the most important part is the sustainability behind it. But to be completely, the money. How are you going to make money for your investors, I think, and how are you going to really survive as a business, I think, was the main thing every time. Just check who you're pitching in front of and what exactly is their expertise, but always keep it really focused on the business part. I think that's the main thing, because at the end of the day, yes, we are trying to change the world, but in order to do that, you need to survive as a company. So I think people kind of neglect that sometimes, especially young startups. We certainly did in the beginning, but that's key for an investor anyways.
Thank you.
I will skip this one. Yeah, it's everything you mentioned practically. Just I think it's honesty, to be honest, because all the investors we have supported, because investors need support as well, you know, because time is very important for both sides, both for founders to be, but also for investors. So trust, and always try to put yourself on the other side. Investors to think like founders, and then the founders to think like investors, and try to make it concise and trust the other person from the other side of the table.
Great, thank you so much. And I actually want to ask you one question. We're having also investors today, the Female Founders and Investors Summit. We're going to have amazing panel of investors, but we have already present investors in the room. Is there a message that you would like to say something to investors representing female founders?
Apparently, I will stress out empathy. The majority of the investors I have met, they have been or are founders as well. And the most successful investors are successful founders. So they already know the difficulties, they have already failed, so they know what the person from the other side of the table thinks of. But I don't know, time is the same thing that I just mentioned before. Time is important for both sides. So respect as well, so trust and respect the founders to be an entrepreneurs, because they have actually invested in themselves before coming in front of an investor.
Amazing. Is there any other panelist that would like to add something to the investors as a message? No? Okay.
Okay. If possible. I mean, if you wish to invest in a company that manufacture large components like wind turbine blades, okay, you have to be patient. But the return will come, and will be actually massive return. So these 3 years return, 5 years return margins, yes, works, but actually makes the strength. But I have to say that it will be good. And I think as European female founders, we need to do this. We need to engage as well with European Commission, because we are part of Europe. We have to make Europe stronger, okay, rather than be from Italy or Spain, France, whatever. We have really to work, making sure that every penny that comes from private financiers, then there will be something mostly for manufacturing, from European Commission or from actually institutional investors. So this is very important, because Europe is an expensive country. It's expensive because materials, primary material, they all come from abroad, and as well labor is expensive. So that's is patient, but also making sure that there is this collaboration with the institutional investors.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We had another question from the audience. Yes, okay, 2 of them. And actually it's great we have this conference with female founders and investors. In a few minutes we will also have the opportunity to network and have conversations between each other.
Hi, I am Biljana. I'm a female founder, and I already succeeded to attract some financing to start my business on the right foot. So first, before my question, I first would like to thank Sabrina, because when I started, I was so afraid. I was saying we, it was me. And I had to do everything by myself, because as Lamon, we have a product, and this product had to be developed and produced, and it's food, so it was really unsexy for investors to invest into this product, but now we're already selling around the world, so it's really exciting. And it's really good. It's honey-based, actually. This is my cause, because honey is superfood. Anyways, my question is for Sofia, because I am very proud that you're so young and so dedicated. And my question is, where, after you see this happen, and what do you plan to study? Do you have any next ideas, next dreams?
So for me personally, I want to study economics and politics somewhere in Europe. We'll see next year where I go. And for our startup is, a lot of people asked us why not sell the idea, but we always say we started with so much passion. It's the 3 of us, we are the heart of it. We can never sell it, I think, and to say. So we want to really continue putting all of our energy and heart into it, and really hope to find some investors and some funding so we can start having our batteries, selling them.
Thank you so much for the question and the great answer. We had one more question, I think.
Yes.
And then we'll go to probably like closing remarks.
Thank you, ladies, for the valuable insights. My question is for Gergana. Yes, when you're saying ask for help, who are you referring to? Investors or some sort of external expertise that you are missing inside the company? What do you mean?
To be honest, depending on the issue at hand, definitely you can ask for help from a board of advisors that you pre-built. That's what usually happens because along the way you meet people that you want to keep around you. So even though we had a board of advisors, we didn't really use them, again, until it was almost a bit too late. So yeah, just ask for help from them. Your investors as well, definitely, they have invested already, so they have invested interest in helping you and supporting you. That's part of their job. So yeah, they're not just for they're not there for the money. They're also there because they are experienced in some way. So asking for help from them is always a great option, or from the market. You know, you can just ask for help from everybody around and see, what catches, basically. So it really depends on the issue, but definitely your investors are kind of a go-to.
Great, thank you so much. So you have the opportunity actually to speak to the panelists afterwards. I wanted to touch upon one more topic, which I think we didn't have a chance to discuss. And when we talk about breaking barriers and making big moves, how is it with imposter syndrome? Which is something I think a lot of women can experience in the entrepreneurship in male-dominated industries. Have you experienced it yourself, and how do you manage with that?
For me personally, it comes and goes, depending on how well the business is doing, and I deal with it by ignoring it. Honestly, it's sometimes, you sometimes feel like, I was gonna say a bad thing, sometimes you don't feel capable to do the job at hand, but then you just do it and it goes away. So just don't pay attention too much to your inner bad thoughts, I think is the way to go about it.
Great. Sabrina, what are your sides? You were in a very, as we said,
I actually do what Maria suggested. I take the time for me. I step up and just have silence, and I walk. When I walk, I actually really walking is helping me to think, because the mind keep working. If actually going away from the desk is really healthy, and then you go back with a fresh mind, fresh energy. Yeah.
Great.
Okay, this will be fun. Mine is the opposite. So when I feel like something is not going well, I start my friends joke with me that it's become a hobby of mine to just work on the company. So when I feel like something is not good, I just start writing something, start doing something for the competitions. Just working on the company makes me feel better and makes me feel like everything is going to be good and it's all right.
I'm more of a Sabrina team. So silence works for me. I walk a lot, like on a daily basis. And what helped me is that I started sleeping more. So I kind of ignored this 5 or 6 o'clock club. And I tried, because I wake up at 6:30. So I tried to start sleeping before 11, or at least at 11. And it helped a lot. So the imposter syndrome, it started to shrink as well.
Great.
Thanks to that,
Yeah, that's a really nice advice. And actually there are some studies that women biologically need more sleep. So we should listen our bodies and really find our ways, I guess. Thank you, ladies. That has been also very interesting and insightful. And is there any brief final question? We're going to closing remarks. Just one? The man from the man? Okay. Well, we have yes, but okay, maybe we can give both to the lady as well.
I just wanted to ditto on the whole imposter syndrome, which I think is something that is not just common for us here, but actually for everyone. It also is extremely hard when it comes to research to not have an imposter syndrome. Anyway, I wanted to add to your fine comments on that and say that actually community is key.
Yes.
If you have a community where whatever that community looks like, it might be your dog or it might be whoever comes to you and in need, and be transparent. Literally say out, I have this, I'm doubting myself. That is extremely powerful and important. And that has taken me a long time to realize, but I would say that that has taken me from where I was maybe 5 years ago to, being an entrepreneur and being a person that is calm during the process. So yeah, that's my 2 cents in that, and then we can talk more about it.
So relevant. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, if I may say something, Gerd Bommer, my name, I'm going to speak later on. I'm one of the investors. I also have an imposter syndrome. I got out of a 6-digit corporate job short time ago. I'm doing my 13th, 14th, and 15th investment now, and I still think that I'm in the start. Sophia, you're the most courageous woman I've seen on stage in the past. Really. Applause from my side to you. If I may give you one tip, if you want a bit of mentorship right now, your biggest failure is going to come up. It's not going to be a failure. It's going to be a learning opportunity. And it's going to get the toughest right before you break through. So wait for it, prepare for it, get ready mentally. You're very, very young, but work on yourself because you are not naive. You said it afterwards. You said it yourself. Kind of strategic. That's what you said afterwards. First you said naive, so stop the naive, put it aside. Take the strategic. Your move was absolutely strategic. And the one thing that did not come up, but you said a lot of it, is the one thing that I might give to everyone is align yourself with the people you surround with. Be it an investor, be it a mentor, be it in the market, your first customer. Align with the people. Look people who go the way with you. Don't look for money. Align with them. I'm going to talk about it later on, but I wanted to congratulate you. Chapeau. Very much respect for you, Sophia.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to the speech afterwards, right after the break. 1 minute for each for the closing remarks. If you want to go back in time and give advice to your younger self or some other final words for the audience. Yeah, let's start with Gergana.
Thank you. For me, yeah, just keep at it. I think everybody has something that they're really good at. So figure that out and just do it, because and I don't want to be too cheesy, but if you love your job, then it's not really a job, and it makes it worth it to be a 6 o'clock person. So for me, it's that. And yet again, find the right people, find the right community, and don't be afraid to pivot along the way as many times as you need to in order to make it work and make something that you're proud of. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
To my young myself, I was not exposed to entrepreneurship at all. So definitely, I would have been like Sophia. but then things happen in life. So yes, it's probably there is always the right time for the right move. So. But one rule I had from my parents is actually, if you do something, you do at your best, then things will happen.
Yeah. Great, thank you so much.
As a follow-up to just do it is never give up. So even in the hardest moments that come, remember the best ones and remember the love and passion that you started with, and this will give you the energy to never give up.
Thank you.
And I would keep that everything passes, both the good stuff and the bad stuff, so nothing lasts forever. So, and I would also try to keep the different names, so not name it failure, although sometimes it is an actual failure, but keep it somehow else in mind and just take the lesson. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and a round of applause for our amazing speakers today. And now we're going to have. Okay, we're going to. Thank you so much. Thank you. It has been a true pleasure. And of course, for the audience, you've been amazing with all the great questions. We're going to take a picture, and now we're also going to have a break. So it's also a great opportunity to network, to connect with each other. Then we'll continue with a fantastic program forward. So see you soon on the stage.